Hey, so this is Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Quick hitter. Going to talk about the modern monetary theory fight that's happening on both Twitter and in your media right now. It's on TV. It's everywhere. And this is really the fight behind the fight of the progressive movement. Everything that you think you know about the progressive movement, all the stuff you think Bernie Sanders might be facing, or whoever might be facing running for office, it's all clouded behind the secret fight that's not so secret anymore. And that is the question of how are you going to pay for it? So as we've talked before, Larry Summers, who is a Clintonite, who is one of the guys who, famously pushes everybody to Wall Street Solutions. He's out there going head to head with Stephanie Kelton. And Stephanie has broken out her razor blade, her scalpel, and is just literally shaving the meat right off the bone. I mean, like while he's wiggling and shaking, she's taking the nerve endings and everything and just stripping it from the bone, cracking the marrow out, just destroying Summers over and over again. And this is the same exact stuff that she did to Paul Krugman. I'm talking about disemboweling this man, drawing and quartering him in public, but doing it in a very academic sense. And this is all so important to you that only a nerdist, sadly, only the nerds will pay attention to this stuff. That's the problem. Only the nerds will really understand what's happening that's really empowering our movement. While you're fast asleep, carrying your Bernie signs and your Tulsi signs, you're missing the real war. And the war goes beyond any candidate that's up there right now at all. This war is so deep, it's the kind of war that will destroy the Republican Party. It's the kind of war that will destroy the neoliberal Democrat corporatist party. It's the kind of war that will empower people to reclaim our government. Because it's understanding what the public purse is. It's understanding where money comes from and understanding how it gets into the hands of people. Right now, before your very eyes, amidst all the worthless jokes and lies and smear campaigns that went out against modern monetary theory from the beginning of Real Progressives' time, and every freaking bonehead that came out and said something about it, right now before your very eyes, it is coming into its own on the grand stage. And it is the one thing, the linchpin to providing us a Green New Deal. And it's happening right now, right in front of your eyes. Aside from the presidential, nominations and candidates and all the other shit, people coming out of the woodwork to say they're running in 2020, right there in plain sight, some of the most epic battles you will ever see, political, non-political, economic, are all happening on Twitter right now. Right now, these heavyweights are really in a friggin' death match. And what is beautiful about it, and I want you to understand how beautiful this is, MMT is the only economic school that clearly understands how a currency works. It's the only ones that clearly understand what causes hyperinflation. It's the only one that clearly understands the role of inflation in an economy. And when you see guys like Larry Summers, Harvard grad Larry Summers, and Nobel Peace Prize winner Paul Krugman trying to use the word hyperinflation and getting the shit kicked out of them, shamed, embarrassed, tarred, feathered, savate kicked, throat punched, elbow of truth, you name it. These people we are literally watching their entire world disassemble. We're watching them collapse on the grand stage, and it is delicious. Do you understand this? It is delicious. For years and years and years, we have prepared countless activists ready to fight the fight of MMT versus the orthodoxy. For years we've been fighting this, and now is the time. We're out there, we've got our swords, we've got our shields, and we're fighting tooth and nail. And it's really happening right here, right now. It makes you wonder if you could go back and screen cap every bonehead that called MMT a cult. If you could literally go out there and find them and rub the dog's nose in the shit. You know what I'm talking about? The people that called it a cult, take them and put their nose in it and just shove it down, that white dried up dog turd, make them touch it with their tongue like Will Ferrell in Step Brothers. Don't you wish you'd have a Jim Carrey moment? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you right now, I want those people to have to account for calling it a cult. I want them to have to account for not being correct, but feeling like they had a right to speak, to talk shit, to talk smack. I want to be able to take them by the head and put them down in that white dog turd. I'm not even joking. It's like right here, right now is the most important time ever. Because Hillary laughed us off the stage. How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for Medicare for all, Bernie? How are you going to pay for student debt relief, Bernie? How are you going to pay for a Green New Deal? Ha, ha, ha. And if you understand MMT, you can go up there, strike a flex, and know that you are the one that has the answer. These people are shaking in their boots because people know what's going on. And they can't hide anymore. There's no more hiding. There's no more sneaking around. There's no more austerity. There's no more hurting people with the fake, how are you going to pay for it? Because there is enough people out there, in spite of the people that ignored it, in spite of the idiots that called it a cult, in spite of those people, there's still enough people that paid attention to fight this war and make it unfair almost. To run a freaking howitzer right at them. It is so important that they begin to realize that the damage that they've done has to be completely undone forever. It needs to be undone forever. No more chance to go back into the neoliberal hole. No more chance. No more chance for them to bring out pain and suffering as an option. No more unemployment, forced unemployment. Let's have a one-time shock cacophony. A one-time shock cacophony to make people realize that it's over, that there's no more austerity. There is no more lies about hyperinflation. There are no more lies about printing money. There are no more gold standard references. There are no more any of that. It's time, because if we can clear it out, like tear that Band-Aid off, rip it off, we can move forward and really, really dream a big tomorrow. Really, really build a bold tomorrow. A huge tomorrow where everyone is able to have a piece of the pie, to have an equal society, a just society. But Larry Summers, you're getting undressed in public. Paul Krugman, you're being shamed and belittled even more than you are in public. And you deserve it, because there's an awful lot of people that have suffered mightily for your austerity, for your lies that federal taxation pays for programs. For where are you going to find the money to pay for the program? For all those lies. For all the people that called it a cult. All the death and destruction that have been brought from that. The war is on. And it's happening outside the presidential election. It's happening outside the political sphere. It's happening on Twitter right now. And if you want to look around, all you got to do is find hashtag MMT and you will see tons of it. Folks, the war is on. Get ready for the fight. jump in. It's never too late to say I'm sorry and get on the right path here. It would be better to be on the right path later than never getting on it at all. And we have time now to really make this election coming up matter. So please, #LearnMMT. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Have a good day, everybody.